stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. West fact buzzing, traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, league got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures is domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Digital sheen, open in range. His weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. In mirror fashion, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king, watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Leads the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Bases bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Lead the master filling his bankroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Leads on the charts. Yeah, watching the flow, candles rise up. then they drop down low. Pips in his pocket, he's stacking it tall. Market structure trader, he's got it all. Open and range, it's the key to the game. Breakout moves, profits calling his name. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. Just don't lie, he reads every line. Forex indexes, he's making it shine. Positions held with precision and grace. He's in control, it's his trading space. Open and range, it's the start of the show. He's a pro, yeah, he's running the flow. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded.
Sorry to interrupt you. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Right. I was bopping away there. I completely forgot I was ready to go on the stream. Right, where are we? Opening range. Right, let me just get the charts ready. Afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, ladder. Ladies, Joe, Chris, Howard, David, how we doing? Lockley, hi. Michael, Road, Mumo, DJ Lee on the decks. Sorry, I said in that. Morning, Callum. Afternoon, even. Raja. Joe, how we doing? Right, we're off. So this morning we had a lovely clean breakdown on the DAX. Really easy money today on the DAX. Broke up initially on the 5-minute opening range, straight down to stop, flip short, P1, T1, TP1 even, hit, and then straight down to ADR. So I took it off at 125 ADR basically. Not for any other reason than it was 125 ADR, and you know we don't often get that far beyond 125 on indices. So took it off, and then we went into accumulation. So see what happens with the US indices this afternoon. Obviously, we've had a lot of movement on the DAX, but we might well get nothing on these this afternoon. It is Friday. Friday afternoons can be quite tormenting with the US indices. We sometimes get really big days, but a lot of the time it is a bit rotational, but we'll see. So today's news is all cancelled. None of the US news is coming out. We were expecting non-farm payroll, etc. We're not getting it. We've had the unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar. Big drop on that. They were forecasting no change, and we got a 6.9. So that's really good. So very good bullish movement for the Canadian. So if you look at things like pound CAD, obviously everything's coming down against the Canadian dollar, Euro CAD, everything coming down. So yeah, very nice news for the Canadians. It's not massive. We've got some ADR hits, but their unemployment is still high. When you look at news and you get better than forecast news, it's good, but they are still up above 7%. With unemployment. Well, no, not actually. They're just under it now, aren't they? But that's still really, really, really bad. So although it's better than forecast, it's still terrible. So it's not going to make that much difference, I don't think, to the Canadian dollar. I did have a quick trade on the pound CAD. It didn't work out. It is working out now. Typical. That is absolutely typical. So for those members, those in the members group, I took that news trade today. both directions. Literally just stopped out on the long, and now look at it. Just one of those really bad trades, unfortunately. But yeah, that's coming back up to revert, potentially back up to the origin. So we'll see if we get up there on that. But yeah, so I'm not sure it's going to be particularly long-term good news for the Canadian dollar. That's still not very good at all, is it? So we'll see where that one goes. We've got a few ADRs and RSIs today. We'll have a look at those in a second. Let's just see what happens at the open. So Dow, nice big candle on the Dow. That is almost 30% of ADR gone in there. NASDAQ really tight open there. Nothing on the NASDAQ today at the moment on the 5-minute ORB. The 10 we will be getting, but the 5-minute really, really tight. So let's just quickly look at where we're going with the indices today, potentially. So obviously this has been a bit of a bad week again. So it's a down week for the indices at the moment, it is anyway. So if we look back Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, there's your open from Monday. We did the gap fill on Monday. We've come down Tuesday and Wednesday kind of sideways. And Thursday, we just made a new low. But we did pull back up inside the weekly range. And we are down below the range lows now. So if we are going to push to the upside today at the open, we're looking basically to come and test Globex highs and the end of yesterday's session. There's multiple areas of resistance to the upside. So any of those could basically trigger some kind of upside resistance today. So it's a very tricky one if it goes long. Shorts, very simple. Let's go on to the NASDAQ. So from a short perspective, obviously if we break down, you're going down into ADR. We've got these two little areas here, which is basically that low and that low there. So this is a weekly low. That's a monthly, previous monthly high. So those are your downsides. So hitting that monthly high here, we may get some people buying up the monthly high because we're above the monthly high. This weekly low may well act as a double bottom, but that's 150 ADR. So there's loads of downside potential on the NASDAQ today. If it breaks short, which it is already. So bear in mind, I'm not going to be getting in this until that 10-minute candle closes. We are, if this does break short, we're selling straight into that resistance and this resistance here. So these two lines here are going to be a downside potential support today. So watch out for those. DAX is continuing to run. So DAX coming down even further. The Dow today, so there's no break on that Dow yet. That's really going up. So yeah, sorry, Dow I was looking at, wasn't I? Go away. So on the Dow, it's pretty much the same story. If we look at the hourly, we've got support coming up here, which is about 125 ADR. So we've got this potential high of the week here, which is this previous monthly high as well, which we're at right now. So if that does break through this area right now where we are, so ideally we break short on the Dow today, I think we've got a clear run down to 125 ADR. So that should be an easy short today if it breaks. But we'll see where we go. At the moment, we are going absolutely nowhere. Does look like it wants to try a short, doesn't it? But we can't. That's basically because all the other markets are heavy. Gold, obviously, as well, is moving around. Ignore all these tiny little trades here. I've been doing some testing on another system and just been taking lots of 0.01 trades just to test the system out. Right, so caught up on chat. That's good. Everyone's quiet. Everyone's got those tunes, those earworms. They're in your head. If you want the music, by the way, it's all in the Discord, in the general chat in Discord. You can go and get it. I put them in there yesterday. Market Moves, it's called. It's 4 tracks, which I made. If anybody hasn't discovered Suno yet, it's the best thing on the planet. Literally, you can just create your own music. Yeah. and you basically just say, you just give AI whatever you want to make music as, whatever style you want to make music, and it just makes music. It's absolutely phenomenal. Literally, you can replace Spotify, because if you're into any type of music, you just basically say, create me a dance track about a man sitting on a chair on YouTube, and it will just make the lyrics up. And it knows what to do. It's amazing. This is the best use of AI I've found so far. Phenomenal. It's great fun as well. Right. Gold will be taking a trade as well today. So the 10-minute range on gold is just above 15% of ADR. It's about 18% or so there. So we'll get a trade on gold today. Nice volatility coming in at the open on gold. Nasdaq still too... that's closed right on the low. That's why that's not taking a trade. Tricky, that Nasdaq today. It's very explosive at the open. The EA does not trigger trades if the candle closes right at the low, because you can get spread into a limit order. So we'll see if we pull up. If that pulls up inside now on that propulsion that we're making here, that would be a nice short. But really not getting any volume today. No explosive moves. We've had the explosive move, that 10 minutes. DAX is coming down into some previous support that I've drawn on the chart there. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll have a look at the RSIs and ADRs. Would you consider the NAS being at a level of support, looking at the 4 hour? Could be. Yeah, so this is the monthly level I said about. Yeah, so we're selling, if this monthly here, we've respected it a few times. Look, yeah, so this was a double top, which we hit, stalled out, and then we gapped above it and broke it, and now we've been using it as resistance to the upside. We had that propulsion move to the downside. We started using it as support again. Then we flip-flopped around it a bit. We came back in and retested it again. So yeah, that is downside support. And then this weekly level at 150 ADR, roughly 150 ADR. So if you're selling today, you're selling directly into support. Obviously, if it is going to be support, you're going to bounce. So the long would be, I think the long would be preferable today, because we've also got this big propulsion move to the upside to test as well. And we're also extended to the downside. So there's lots of reasons to long it today, and quite a difficult short. So I'm quite glad actually that the EA hasn't triggered that short, because we are at support. But, you know, we'll wait and see. Looks like we're pulling back on the Dow at the minute. NAS first 5 minute at min 10 minute below beyond what? NAS first 5 min at min 10 min beyond max. I have no idea what you're saying, Michael. NAS first 5 min at min 10 min max beyond. Don't get it. Sorry, don't understand what you're talking about. You're going to have to rephrase that one. I think your keyboard's had a funny 5 minutes. First 5 was just below the minute. What? What's the min? First 5 was just below the min. Min range? Right. Oh, okay. Below the minimum range. Right. That. Okay. Yeah. So that was just below the minimum range. So depending on your broker, you may have taken that. Depends. But yeah. And that obviously was close at the low, which doesn't trade. So yeah, it's just it's one of those days today where everything's just not quite right, just outside the Goldilocks zone. Stopped out on the Dow short. So we'll retake a 15-minute break. So as soon as this candle closes inside, we'll reset that. We'll take a 15-minute break, which is the same as the 10-minute break today. And we'll have another crack at that if it closes inside. Might be a whippy one. We'll have to wait and see. Right, ADRs today. CAD yen is ADR. That is just reacted. Obviously, this is off the Canadian dollar news. So there's your ADR hit, there's your reversal alert, and there's your reversion. Yeah, these were tricky news trades today. All of them. It was a little bit funny price action after the news. But yeah, so there's your ADR reversal. It's gone too quick. I mean, that is kind of a quarter of an ADR, that reversal. Euro yen also has hit today. That was a very nice one. This is yen strength coming through. All these yen pairs doing exactly the same thing. Look at that parabolic move on the euro yen there. So movement coming into the yen today. Looks like we're buying up the yen a little bit. Only on those two though. Euro New Zealand at ADR already. So potentially there's a short there. I've just realised I turned my VPS off. All these silly little trades on here that the testing is doing. Never mind. Anyway, Euro New Zealand ADR to the upside. Wow, big candle just came in there. Massive spread just came in. Look at the wicks on this thing today. Look at these wicks on Euro New Zealand. How hideous is that? There is absolutely no liquidity on that New Zealand dollar today. I wouldn't want to trade that just because it looks awful. New Zealand dollar CAD. So reversal alert at 125 ADR has just gone in. There's your signal candle there. So we just had a reversal at 125. You did have a reversal alert here off of 100 ADR today, which kind of gave you a 1.5 hour, but didn't really get anywhere. And then obviously we've come straight back down on that Canadian news, but I think that's going to mean revert. That's not strong enough news for the Canadian that we've just had. US dollar CAD, obviously that's hit off the back of the news as well. So that should just revert. Probably back up into there, but again, it's too big, this move. None of these are really tradable today. And obviously the DAX, so the DAX is really the only tradable one today because we have pushed down beyond 125 ADR and we've stalled out. So you've had a reversal alert already there today. You didn't get a reversal alert there, so that reversal alert actually you wouldn't have had that because that low, it didn't make a new low. So this actually is the first reversal alert of the day on the DAX, about to go in, if it goes in. So that would be a nice mean reversion on this one. Just look for a percentage pullback. You've got propulsion there, you've got previous monthly there. So pull back into there. 50% retracement on that would be a good little long trade today. RSI's obviously got quite a few extensions there. Let's just quickly see what's going on. No trades on the NASDAQ. That range must be too big. I haven't got the dashboard turned on, so I can't actually see. Can't put the dashboard on now because it won't work. But I'm assuming then that that range is too big. ADR on the NASDAQ. 405. Uh, 193. Yes, that's the wrong size, isn't it? I'm not going to get a trade on the NAS today, don't think. 6 bar range, no, it's not going to work, is it? Okay, so Dow is basically the only hope and gold today. See where we go. I was trying to say that, right? Okay. Yeah, so it's no trades today on the NAS at the minute. Aussie New Zealand. So Aussie New Zealand, we had the reversal today. So we looked at this as a potential double top yesterday in the members. No, I was looking at that. It was in Discord, wasn't it? So we're looking at this in Discord this morning, I think it was, or was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Of course, it was yesterday. Yesterday's price action. As this being a double top. So this orange line here is the 10-year high from 2022, 2023 or something, which we came straight into, reacted at. And this is where the volume picked up. You see here, this 10-year high, when we got there, the volume spiked dramatically. We had some news coming in. Then we had New Zealand dollar news coming in, and it spiked again at that high. Then we sat around and we put in a double top yesterday, and it looked like it was coming back down, but we never broke yesterday's low. And today we've had this huge parabolic expansion on the Aussie New Zealand and this very, very, very swift reversal. So we liken this to gold. We looked at this morning in the member stream. If you look at what happened to gold when we got to the exhaustion point, so this is the largest move we've had on gold for ever. This is the biggest move on gold we've ever had in recorded history. And then we had this big expansion at the end. And then we came back down again. So this is what I keep going on about, climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft. So you climb and climb and climb and climb, and bang, 24 hours later, you've undone a third of the entire move. So that's what we're looking at, I think, at the moment now on Aussie New Zealand. There's your exhaustion spike. If you look at this on a 4-hour chart, it's very obvious. There's your wick. There's your exhaustion. There are no more sellers. They've reached for them. There's none there. So we've tried to break down as sellers, failed, pushed back up, and now we are closing short. So if this candle closes below that low and that low, that's pretty clear indication that the buyers have just run out of people to sell to buy from. There's no one left selling. So up at these prices, but now they're taking profit. So everybody that's bought here, if they're going to exit those positions, they have to do the opposite, which means they're going to sell. When they sell, they're going to sell fast. So watch this potentially for a reversal today. And we could be looking at a week maybe, but it's not actually that big of a move here. It's only a 2-week push. So 50% retracement on that brings you back down into this monthly level. It's not quite 50%. 50% is this previous monthly high. So it's roughly that area there is where you'd be looking for a pullback. And then if we are going to continue long, that's where I'd expect the next leg to start from. So propulsion. But if you look at it on the large scale, in theory, this whole thing hasn't had a profit take. We had a flag break. That's it. So we've not really pulled back at all on this move. So we haven't had that nice, big, strong pullback. We've had nothing. We've had a flag. In fact, you could even argue that this was just a 1-month accumulation. It wasn't even a flag. It was just an accumulation period, in which case that is where we're coming to, or potentially there. So this high here, that propulsion gap broke those highs. This is the propulsion gap target on the way down. So watch that Aussie New Zealand. There's potential for a big move down on that. Pound, literally that's just turned off. We just had a 4-hour candle close. Yeah. Oh, it's because I'm only monitoring 75, isn't it? 75.25. Euro New Zealand, massively extended still. So yeah, big potential push down on this one. This one's parabolic, absolutely parabolic. We're sitting now at kind of, yeah, I mean, it's reading 86 at the moment, 84.47 on the last closed candle. That is very, very, very parabolic. So watch this monthly high here. That propulsion gap to the downside is obviously fair game. I'd be wary of this monthly high. The speed we've shot out of here, I wouldn't be surprised if this just pulled back into there and bounced, but there's a lot of room to the downside on this. You've been extended and embedded now pretty much for 24 hours up here. So you've got divergence. If we zoom in a little bit, you've got bearish divergence on RSI. So your RSI is dropping. Relative strength is decreasing. Price is increasing. Bearish divergence, meaning that this basically is running out of steam. So watch for that pullback. But you haven't got far to go. Look, that monthly high that we looked at is literally less than an ADR away. But that high there potentially, where this propulsion gap is on the hourly, could act as downside support. So that looks good for a short, definitely. That's extended on the 4 hour. It's also extended on the hourly as well. You've got pound New Zealand also extended on the 4. Again, everything against the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar is getting hammered at the moment. We had a lovely big shooting star put in at propulsion, and it's looking like it's trying to push again. But if you actually look at this on the 4 hour chart, what we're actually looking at is 2 inside bars. So we've got this control candle at the end of this massive rally, which basically we've put in an inside bar on, and we are now putting in a higher high and a higher low, but within that candle. So until that breakout there happens or there, this is in indecision. So we should be looking for a break short to come back down and retest this area, fill all this propulsion in, gap in, or break out to the upside. But very, very extended. Anything above 80, basically, very, very good on 4 hour. All the New Zealand pairs are obviously the opposite at the moment because New Zealand is weak. So we've got New Zealand CAD massively extended to the downside. We've had bullish CAD news just come in, and look what's happened. Actually going back the other way. So that is not that bullish, that Canadian. So that is just extended again. You've got, again, lovely bullish, in this case, divergence. Price is putting in lower highs. RSI is putting in higher lows. Did I say that right? Anyway, you know what I mean. Bullish divergence. So watch for a push back up into there. New Zealand dollar Swiss, same thing. There's really good weekly support that we've just tapped into. So we gapped down into this weekly low, and we've got a monthly coming up. So kind of like this price action with all these wicks to the downside at the moment. Sellers are really struggling at this weekly low. They're buying this weekly low up. If it does break through there, obviously you've got a monthly low coming up. But what we're looking at here is there is your weekly low and weekly high. So that is that whole week there. What we've done basically is pull back into that previous weekly low and rejecting it. So potential there for this to hold up and bounce back up again as well. All these New Zealand pairs are really extended because they're very, very, very weak. And lovely rejection wicks on this yen. Again, divergence, bullish, rejection wicks, push up. So all looking good. Dow broken long. Not really going anywhere though, are we? Week today. Nasdaq's pushing up as well. Sorry, DAX. So all these wicks in this area here, we have moved through that a few times though, so it's not particularly, I would say, really relevant now. Just pulled into this area here. So potential bounce out of here, massively extended, again, the DAX. But as you can see, we are really going nowhere on indices at the moment, especially the DAX. Totally stalled out in this range. So we're approaching the lows of the range at the minute. The thing that worries me about this DAX is if we start to break this area, that's a hell of a drop we've got on our hands, haven't we? We're not able to really, we've made new highs gradually on this, but we are really struggling to go higher. We're not going anywhere. So it's going to break and we're going to go into a bear market, or it's not. There's a lot of people calling for a bear market at the moment, thinking that we are at that exhaustion point. Markets are getting tired, and we're thinking we need to correct this. We haven't had a good correction for a long time. So I think there's a good call for a bear market to get underway for at least a month or so. Don't forget as well, we're coming up to December. What tends to happen in December? The Santa rally. We get a boom in stock market prices. So if you go back and look at a daily chart and stick a line at every December, where are we? November. So we didn't get one last year. About there. So that was last year's December. 23. So that was your rally in 2023. 2022. Back here. Didn't actually get one in 2022 either, did we? By those things. Yeah, it's more of a Santa drop in December there. But there's your Santa rally for December. Didn't get one last year. So that actually, out of the last 3 years, we've only had one. Prior to that, we do usually get that lovely rally in December, but not not in the last few years. And obviously, this was all the post-COVID malarkey. Yeah. So if you look at it, actually, recent years, we did have one after just before the last bear market that we had, which was after COVID. So 50% of the years, we haven't had one, have we? That statistic, everyone used to go on about, sure it's actually relevant anymore. Dow's pulling back. Looks like it's going to be a double stop out on the Dow today, and it doesn't look like going to get a trade on the gold either. 3-bar reversal going in potentially on the Nasdaq, although this could be a bull move. Big move going up on gold. Double stop out on the Dow today. That's annoying because that ruins the entire morning on the DAX. No movement today. Terrible. Right, anybody got any other pairs they want to look at? We've kind of covered everything at the moment from that perspective. Pound New Zealand pushing back up into that high again. So there's your inside bar basically being tested. So watch this literally within the next sort of 15, 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes to half an hour. We're going to be retesting that high. That holds, I would say we are going to form a bit of a range there. See where we go. We've also had news. There's a lot of news floating around in the UK at the moment about increasing taxes coming in the budget next month. That will be negative pound. So all these big rallies that we're seeing at the moment, or rather it's finished there, isn't it? But any big rallies you see on the pound at the moment, I think they will be short-lived. Very, very strong pound at the minute coming through. Wonder if we've had some news. Michigan's come out. ECB. No news on the pound. Someone's buying the pound up though. Just about to stop out on the second Dow. Rubbish. How's the M1? I don't know. 136%. Done 113% this week. Not bad, eh? You know this is a joke, right? This is not real. This is M1. It's a demo account, and it's just for testing purposes. Do not go out and try and trade this strategy. You will blow your account. Yeah? This is fun. It's not even fun. It's testing. This is testing. All I'm doing is I'm testing functionality on this dashboard to make sure it works. Don't go out and trade M1 mean reversion. You will die with position trading. M1 and position trading do not work. Trust me. You can test it though. Go and test it. If you want to do it, do it. But don't. You'll be in pain. Lots of it. In a very short manner. This, yeah, right. So there you go. The prime example. Would you be comfortable being in 35% of drawdown on your entire account on one symbol? If yes, go and do it. If no, run. Yeah, 35% Euro New Zealand. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're on margin call. Oh, not far off, but we're very close to a margin call. So you won't be in that Euro New Zealand for long. You can't take any more trades at the moment. There's no margin. Yeah, it needs to take, I don't know what the lot multiplier is, but it needs to take about, I would say probably a 21 lot short. There's no liquidity. Can't get it on. That's it. So this account, this is the problem with position trading on low time frames. Yeah, especially if you're trading lots of symbols. What will happen is you'll get to a point where you go, oh, this is the turning point, but you won't be able to get a trade on up here because you have got no liquidity. You've got no margin left. And what they will do is they will margin call you and go, shut. You'll take a loss of virtually all your account and then it will collapse. Do not try it. It will not work. It works short term, as you can see. Yeah, look at this. 14% in a day, 40% in a day, 32% in a day, 22% in a day, 45% drawdown. Literally, if you watch this margin, how quick this goes up and down, that 193 there could easily be turned into like 170 within 10 minutes. And within half an hour, that could be at 100. And if it gets down to 50, they close my trades out. Not good. Yeah, the dash fine. The dash works brilliantly. Haven't seen a live from you for some time. Well, I'm here every week, every day, every other day. You were working on RSI2 strategy. You could go and do that, test it yourself if you want. RSI2 on the daily. It's not. I wasn't working on it. I was just testing it. It's a strategy that's been around for decades, literally for decades. You can test it. Stick it in the back tester. So go to a daily time frame. RSI2. Daily. Actually, probably RSI2 daily. What was I testing? Was I testing 85.15? Was it 90.10? I think it was 90.10, wasn't it? We need to set a take profit on it as well. This is 1 ADR. If we're trading daily, we can do this on the hourly time frame. It works, you know. It's a nice strategy. It works. Dude. So this is Larry Connors. It's one of the Larrys. I can never remember. RSI2 strategy. Who made it? Larry Connors, yeah. This is my variation of it, basically, which is obviously using multi-time frame analysis instead of single time frame analysis and using forex instead of stocks. So Larry did it on the S&P 500, and I think he did it on some commodities as well. But you've got to have, ideally, you want trending instruments for RSI2. Actually, it doesn't matter with RSI2 because RSI2 actually works very well when you're going sideways, as you can see by the P&L, which is not updated because it's going too fast. But yeah, as you can see, it works very, very well. But yeah, Larry Connor's version of the strategy was different. Obviously, he didn't had different entry, different exit rules, but It's the same thing, isn't it? Price moves up, you sell it. Price pushes down, you buy it. Mean reversion. But with a position trader EA, obviously it works very nicely. But you've got to be a little careful. Obviously, with daily movement, you will find occasionally you'll get into a squeeze. So that's the biggest squeeze I think we've had, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a big squeeze, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so actually it doesn't actually get into a big squeeze, does it? We've had 7, that's it. 8. Oh, there's a biggie. That's a biggie. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is without drawdown control. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. So that was the run up to Christmas 2024 last year. Oh, slow that down. I can't do anything when it's running like that. So that was that run there. Look. So we had some news on the dollar in September, late September, October, and we basically ran until Christmas. So that was a 10 trade drawdown before the, actually mean reverted the whole lot, but there's your 50% pullback. Yes, good strategy. You can see the squeezes. So you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, big one, 5. So there's 5 squeezes so far from January 23 to, oh, that's it, done, to the end. So there was 5 squeezes. That being the big one, which was last year. There you go. Larry Connor's RSI2 strategy converted into position trading strategy for the position trader EA. I'm going to do this very slowly because I know what you're going to ask. Can I have the set file? This is MT4. There's the first page. There's the second page. And there's the bottom bit. So you can watch the replay, take screenshots of that if you want the set file. And that's the equity curve. With those settings, obviously, there are a million variations. Right. One of those days today. Okay, so it's double stop out on the Dow today. Very, very whippy at the open. There's absolutely no direction whatsoever. So your 30-minute range is basically the same as your 5-10-minute range basically today. So basically the first 30 minutes we have got absolutely no movement and contraction. So your options are now to take this break long. I would go low risk if you're going to get in today. So just keep very wide stops and see if you can get a 2R out of it. But there's very little point in trying to make any sense out of this today. The market is just not going anywhere. Gold, 10-minute range is in. I haven't got a trade triggered on that yet. But there is a potential for a gold move as well. But yeah. Shocking today. Looked all right. Did the other guy publish his strategy? Larry Connors. Have you not heard of Larry Connors? He's probably one of the most famous traders on the planet. Larry Williams and Larry Connors. Have you ever heard of the Market Wizards? He's one of them. I was thinking about using it as a kind of directional filter for intraday on the second day. Sorry, I meant the college you were working on with it on. No. Wasn't working with a college. Not that I remember. I know. But yeah, no, Larry Connors. There's a lot of famous traders out there. Larry Connors, Larry Williams, there's Dr. David Paul. There's hundreds of them, but they all are basically mathematic traders. So they basically trade mathematical edges, exactly the same as I do. Everything I do is based on mathematics. Yeah, so I don't pay any attention to anything that hasn't got a mathematical edge. So things like that, you know, the RSI2 strategy, the way that Larry developed it was basically by analyzing previous historical movements, and he used the relative strength indicator to basically created the indicator to tell him when there was a mathematical probability of a mean reversion. Yeah, in the same way as Mr. Bollinger created his bands to tell him when there was a mathematical probability of a mean reversion. So they're all mathematical calculations, basically. All good strategies are based on algorithmic maths rather than I've got a feeling. Yeah, a lot of traders are very good at feelings. Feelings tend to usually end up making you overtrade, over leverage, and go tilt. But if you use them in the right way, they'll work. Not for most of us, though. Yeah. All this is the opening range breakout strategy. Again, I didn't create the opening range breakout strategy. It's not mine. I created this EA, which trades a variation of the opening range breakout strategy. But the opening range breakout strategy is based on open outcry from the pits in the CME. Yeah. So this is all this is opening range volatility, which is basically them shouting at the top of their lungs in the pits to buy and sell stuff. And all you're doing is you're waiting for the noise to calm, and then you're waiting for, is there more people shouting buy or more people shouting sell? If there's more people shouting sell, which is why they called it the open outcry, I'm going to go short. And this is all the ORB strategy is it's playing the mathematical probability of there being more volume in one direction than the other. And all we do is we wrap an equation around that generates a positive return over time, which is basically a risk-reward ratio. Maths. Study, if you're going to follow anybody or study anybody on YouTube, if they haven't got a mathematical basis for everything that they do, forget it. Go and find someone that has, because this is literally a binary market. It goes up, it goes down. It moves through time. There is nothing else to it. So basically, everything you do has to have an edge created around a binary movement, up and down. You can only buy it or sell it at a point in time. If you can't develop a maths equation around your strategy that produces alpha, positive return, it's not going to work. So all the best traders, the Turtles, Larry Connors, Larry Williams, Paul, they all basically develop mathematical edges. And that's what you need to do. Position trading is a mathematical edge. What I've just shown you there. Yeah. The reason it works is because of the settings of the fact that I'm using the ADR measurement, which is a dynamic sizing measurement, which means that my strategy, regardless of how volatile the market is, will always have an edge because I am playing the volatility of the current market. So don't care what the market was 15 years ago, you stick this on there, it will work because it uses a mathematical edge in ADR. It knows what the current expected movement is going to be, and we adjust our targets to match the expected movement. Therefore, we will always achieve the expected movement when the market moves in our direction. The thing that we can't do is time the market to move in that direction. So we just get into the market and wait for the market to move because it doesn't go that way forever, never has done, never will do. If it does, we're in big trouble. Even look at COVID. Yeah. Most strategies that have mathematical edges will have also worked in COVID. Why? Because COVID did the same thing as everything else has ever done. It pulled back 50%. Every time it pushes up, it pulls back 50%. Every time it pushes somewhere, it goes back 50%. Up, down, up, down, up, down. If you can ride the up and the down in one direction or the other at some point during the movement with an equation that doesn't blow your account, that's an edge. All it is maths, isn't it? Trading. You just got to develop the maths, basically. Understand how to survive at the end of the day. You cannot formulate a plan around a random movement. Yeah. So think about a target. If you were shooting a target, if the target is stationary, at some point, by pure odds, you're going to hit it. Yeah. If you shoot 50 times at it at random, you're going to hit it. Yeah. So if you're shooting at something that is moving constantly, the chances of hitting it are very, very rare, because that bullet has to travel in the right trajectory at the right time that that target is passing by. That's the problem with trading. We know it's only going to do two things, but we don't know when. This variable is impossible for us to predict. So if you scale into a movement when you know that the probable outcome is going to happen at some point in the future, your job is not to time the market. Your job is to get in the right direction. So if we eliminate one of those things, the moving target, we hit it. An edge. We covered all this in the Position Trading Bootcamp. That's probably the best explanation of the Position Trading Bootcamp I've done, and I just made it up as I went. What do I think about Euro Yen? I mean, it's trending like a lunatic at the moment, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. It was God, I've had people phoning me all day. I've had 3 sales calls today. I've obviously got on a list somewhere. We've got this gap to fill on all yen pairs at the moment. So I would say the likelihood is we're coming down here at some point. But last long entry was down here. At the minute, you're sitting in no man's land. So I wouldn't be doing anything with that at the minute. Waiting for it to set up. That was your long. You had a short there. Short there. Again, 50% retracement. That's all it ever does. But that would be my target. So I'd be more inclined to short it at the moment than I would to long it. 4-hour reverse alert's gone in. So we are structure bearish. Yeah. So this propulsion gap here is a 50% retracement. I'd be starting to look for shorts down into there. But equally, we might just do that. If you look at all the yen pairs, and since the intervention, yeah, which again, largest move in history for the yen. We've never had that before. Same as we've had the largest this year, or last couple of years has been some real groundbreaking movement, especially in the yen, because we've had now the intervention and we're back above those highs again. So we've gone back into that trending move. But if you look at all the other pairs, they're not doing that. Yeah, the euro yen is really the only thing that has actually made that extra leg up. The pound's not far away, but the rest of it, not interested, is it? Yeah, this yen is just going sideways. So for some reason at the moment, which I really have no idea, the euro is stronger than the yen, whereas everything else is kind of sitting around. So the fact that we've got the gap fill to do, though, I would say is, market does not like gaps. There's a load of institutional money sitting there offside. They're going to try really hard to get that sorted out. And if you think about it, what we're going to do is come back pretty much and test the 200 moving average. So especially as look at all of them on the 4-hour chart. Yeah. What have they all got in common at the moment? Yeah. Every single one of them has had a reverse alert short. So market structure shifted in the last 2 weeks that way. So, but right now is probably not the best time to get it. You kind of missed it. That would have been the best entry there or here. But I mean, shorting it after a gap like that, I'd be, mind you, actually shorting after a gap like that, I would be interested in, but you'd be out on that trade already, wouldn't you? You're done. How's the take profit trader prop? Yep, all good. They are still trading. I am still trading with them. I have just blown an account with them again. I have just passed another one though again. So I've churn. It's the churn. Just keep doing it. Oh, that's something I forgot to say. So, wow, look at that. Shorts. Want to be looking shorts today. A mess. Look at this. Absolute mess. Don't trade anything today. If I was you, I'd just stay clear. I go short or nothing. So I've just discovered, actually, that E8, I think, are the first prop firm. I think I've got a link to them in the prop discounts. Yeah, I have. So I'll put this in there in the chat. But the E8 now have this signature for forex. Okay, so they do futures as well as forex. Now with futures prop firms, most of them, pretty much all of them actually, all futures prop firms charge you a monthly fee, which is recurring, and then you have to pay a reset fee on top. With people like Top's Take Profit Trader and everything, it's around about $100 for an evaluation. And it's pretty much the same here, yeah? So 50K evaluation is $88. And it's a subscription thing, the same as everything else. But what they have done now is they've made a forex product called E8 Signature, which I wasn't aware of, which is a one-step process. Okay. And I want to, where's the 50K? Here we go. So E8 Signature 50K, you can trade with MetaTrader 5 and you can trade with EAs. Okay. So they allow you to trade with EAs on this. Doesn't say there, but you can. It's $98. It's a one-off payment. And what it does is it gives you exactly the same trading conditions as futures, but it's not a monthly subscription. And you can use EAs, which means you don't need a copy trader account. So at the moment, I'm spending upwards of 60 euros a month on copy trade software to copy my MT4 trades over onto Tradeovate. EA have exactly the same rules as futures. So it's a 3K target, 6%, and it's a 4K end of day trailing drawdown. Yeah. So the same as Take Profit Trader, end of day. So good conditions. It's 98. The difference is they have an activation fee. Take Profit Trader don't, because they've got a discount running at the moment where you don't pay an activation fee. The activation fee would normally be $150 odd, but they're giving that away for free. So the only way this becomes more expensive is if you pass. Then you have to pay the activation fee. But who cares? You've got an account, so trade it. Yeah, costs you an extra $88. But what it does mean is you don't have to go into subscription. Yeah, so you don't have to have that monthly rolling subscription, which you have to remember to cancel. And there's no reset fees, basically. So you just basically, every time you blow one of these, you just buy another one. So there's no resets. And then the lovely thing is it's MetaTrader 5. So the Forex gives you access to all FX pairs, oil, gold, and all stock indices, including the DAX. So you can basically, because on the futures market, you can't trade the DAX because it's only CME, NYMEX products and stuff like that. But with MT5, Forex, you can trade the DAX. So you can actually use the ORB EA properly with proper lot sizing. You're not stuck in one contract like you are in futures, which is what I hate about futures. You can get proper risk on, proper leverage on with exactly the same rules. $98. Okay. So there's a link in there if you want it, which gives you the discount as well. So yeah, great. So I'm actually going to start moving over onto here, probably from futures, just because there's two actual benefits to this. First benefit is you can pass in one day. I'm not advocating this. I don't do this, but you could if you wanted to pass in one day because there is no minimum day limit. On Take Profit Trader, you've got a minimum 5 days to evaluate. This one you don't. It's one and done challenge. Yeah. Decent drawdown. Risk is 0.01 lot increments. Really good. So I haven't had an account with them for a while, so I'm going through an evaluation at the minute with them. But this actually now, for me, is better than futures because it's exactly the same rules, except I can use EAs, which is great. It opens up loads of doors being able to trade on MT5 without having to do copy trading. Anyway, I thought I'd drop that in there because I was going through their site the other day and looking at signing up with futures, and I was like, well, it doesn't make any sense because yes, they are cheaper than Take Profit Trader, and I can pass quickly, but I have an activation fee. But then I was like, well, this is absolutely the same thing. Yeah, with a 50k account, it's exactly the same cost. Brilliant. Anyway, there you go. That's what I'm trying to do. Short it. Yeah, try. It's not very good today at all. We're not going anywhere, are we? It's going to be one of those days, yeah, where you do this, you crawl, and eventually what will happen is it will pop and it will just go. There'll be one massive candle. By the time you've seen it, you won't be able to react to it. You've got to be in it before it goes. It's going to be one of those days where it's either going to do absolutely this all day long, or it's just going to go. And if you're not in it, that's it. You'll never get on it because it will just not pull back. It's Friday. Do they have consistency rules? No. No, this is the other thing about them. There's no consistency rule because you can pass in one day. If you want to, you can literally sign up right now with a 50k account, go in with 3% risk on an opening range breakout trade, get a 2R and pass. Literally. Yeah, you've got 4%. So you could literally, if you wanted to, at the open, yeah, just set the ORB up, right, and put 2% risk on. And if it breaks that way, immediately, pass. If it breaks, like on the DAX today, for example, look at the DAX trade today. Perfect example. Let's just use that as an example. So this is you this morning with your E8 account, 2% risk long, stopped out, negative 2%. 2% risk short, TP, pass. Yeah, that move there made me 2.98%. So with the 2% risk on, that would have made you 6%. Pretty much. Your target's 6%, basically. So what you would have done is gone, screw it, I'll just wait. So you would have actually done it in one trade at the open. Obviously, there is the stop out, dead. So look at the Dow today. The Dow is why you don't do that. So if you'd have gone 2% short on the Dow today, you stopped out, and then you went 2% long and stopped out. There's your evaluation gone. Oh, well, I'll just reset it for another $90. It's an irrelevant amount of money, isn't it? That's one of the things I love about E8. What I used to do in E8, which I did on stream, was I used to do the two-step. I don't do it anymore. Just do the classic now. But they used to do a two-step one, which I basically passed in a day. I think it was 4 and 8. Yeah, it was that. So basically in the morning, I traded the DAX and passed stage 1. And in the afternoon, I traded the NASDAQ and passed stage 2. And the next day I was funded. That was it. Took 2 trades. I basically broke out long, pulled back, added, pushed up, took it off, passed. And did exactly the same in the opposite way on the NASDAQ in the afternoon. And that's the beauty of E8. No minimum days. You just get in and you do it. Pass. It's great. But obviously, it's very high risk. You will blow a lot of accounts. If you get into choppy markets, you'll just blow accounts. Kind of liking this rejection on the Dow here. So we've got an outside bar followed by a bear, followed by an inside bar, followed by an upside rejection. So we've basically just rejected these highs or we are rejecting, wait for this candle to close. We've got 1 minute. But if this candle closes bearish, you've got 3 bearish moves to the upside, or 3 bullish moves to the upside, which have failed. If we break that low, I think that could be the start of at least a test of those lows. Nice little short. Stop, obviously, would be either there or there, depending how aggressive you are. Nasdaq's coming down, just breaking out the 5-minute range on the Nas. Again, bearish. Good. Worth a pop short. May not work because this is just an absolute mess. You're basically shorting a bull market at the moment. Look. So, you know, it's going to do that or that, isn't it? One of them's going to work. Right. I think I'll leave it there today. I'll be back on Monday. For those that are in the academy on Monday, we are covering, we are 8 out of 12 on the position trading bootcamp. We've covered all of that, 19 of them. We've covered all of the economic news. We've covered the prop trading part, and we are nearly at the end of position trading bootcamp now. So Monday, we're doing drawdown control. So that's going to be on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. We're going to cover basically all the different ways to do drawdown control within your portfolio. Then on Wednesday, we've got the indicators, must-have indicators, and finding your preference. So we're going to look at target indicators and the core set of indicators I use, and mean reversion indicators in general, basically, and just look at ways to automate position trading methodology. Okay, you don't have to use what I use. There's millions of ways to do it. But we're going to look at the types of indicators and the variations on these indicators on Wednesday. Then on Friday, we're going into strategies. So I'm going to go through lots of different examples of strategies, how to adapt your risk to timeframes, and we're going to look in the back tester and just go and play around with lots of different strategy ideas. And this is more going to be a discussion type one. So I've allowed 60 minutes for this. If you know me well, the last one that we did this morning was a 20-minute lesson that lasted 65 minutes. So I'd probably say that's a 2-hour lesson. And then on the following Monday, we finish with aggressive drawdown control. So this is obviously going to be the what to do when things go wrong lesson. Okay, so this is for those of you that are trying to trade 1-minute charts and are sitting in 50% of drawdown. What do you do next? Yeah, so aggressive drawdown control. In fact, US dollar Swiss is Euro New Zealand is a prime candidate right now for it. There is nowhere to do it, is there? This thing is off. Euro New Zealand is going to the moon. 125 ADR. There we go. 125 ADR. So if you're going to do aggressive drawdown control, there is a 70 odd percent chance, 77% chance that this is the turning point today. So if you're going to do aggressive drawdown control, there it is. And when you get up to 150, if we get there, there's an 88% chance that it's going to turn around or at least pause there. So it's all about aggressive drawdown control, which we're doing next week after. It's all about identifying when to do it rather than what it is. We kind of know what it is. It's get out of jail. Right, so I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord or Telegram. If you want a boogie, I will leave the end screen running for about 10 minutes and you'll be able to listen to all of the tracks. Up to you. Anyway, I'll be back on Monday morning at 8 o'clock and we'll be covering the trading the DAX, and obviously we'll be covering the week ahead and having a look at the news. So I'll be back Monday. Have a good weekend. If you need anything else, Discord or Telegram. I'll see you next week.
Click, clack, charts attack. Candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack. Profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex. Numbers dance, what's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. Westpac buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures his domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads. Fibonacci match the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive. Liquidity pools, banks coincide. Retail's blind, leads the guide. Charts unfold, the stories told. Entry bold, accounts in gold. Trade by trade, the wins are sold. Market alchemy, legends mode. Whoa, 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 whoa. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run. Lead the reason markets run.
Lee wakes at dawn to a glowing screen. Charts and candles, the digital sheen. Open in range, his weapon so keen. He's the structured trader, a market machine. Bank moves, he mimics, he plays their game. Near reversion, glory is his claim to fame. Market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Leads the master filling his bankroll. His mind's a map of supply and demand, turning charts to gold with a steady hand. Forex flows like rivers in his plan. Aces bow to the market man. Break out at the open, the strategy's tight. Position for the swing, he wins the fight. Risk is measured, the balance precise. Leads on the rise, he rolls the market structure king. Watch him do his thing. Pips and points, the profit sing. Trading like the banks, he's in control. Leads the master filling his bankroll. Lead the master filling his bankroll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Leads on the charts. Yeah, Watching the flow, candles rise up, then they drop down low. Pips in his pocket, he's stacking it tall. Market structure trader, he's got it all. Open and range, it's the key to the game. Breakout moves, profits calling his name. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. Just don't lie, he reads every line. Forex indexes, he's making it shine. Positions held with precision and grace. Leads in control, it's his trading space. Open and range, it's the start of the show. He's a pro, yeah, he's running the flow. Market structure leads the king. Trading waves, let the profits sing. Mean reversion, he's locked and loaded. Like the banks, his strategy's coded. He walks the charts like a shadow king. Candlesticks dance where the prophets sing. Pivots and breakouts, his gospel's clear. Mean reversion whispers what no one hears. Open in range, he strikes the key position right where the games will be. Market wizardly, every tech bend says decree. Forex waves obey the sea. Bow down to the market structure trader. Indices tremble when his cursor flies. Fibonacci lines cut through the lies. Algorithms falter at his stare. While rookies gamble, he's prepared. Risk is locked and the stops are tight. His strategy hunts through the dead of night. Market wizardly, every trade a prophecy. Stacks his wins for all to see. The throne belongs to the market structure trader. Trader. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. 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 Click. clack, charts attack, candlesticks, they spark the track. Lead move silent, market crack, profit stack, no turning back. Opening range, that's the game. Breakout hits, never the same. Algorithms play, but he rewires the frame. Banks whisper his name. Flipping forex, indices flex, numbers dance. What's coming next? Green lights flash, P&L stretch. Risk managed, he never sweats. Westpac buzz and traders peep. Lessons deep, no time to sleep. Market's a beast, Lee's got the leash. Feast at the feast, his game's elite. Market structures his domain. Leads the king, they know his name. Breakout sharp, he fuels the flame. Trading charts is not a game. Pip by pip, he stacking high. Mean reversion, banks comply. Leads the reason markets run. Leads the reason markets run. Markets run, candles lit, wicks on fire, spread so tight the stakes get higher. Institutional flow, he's the supplier. Positions held till charts retire. Data feeds, news he reads, Fibonacci maps the seeds. Supply demand his mind exceeds. Trades ignite like lightning speed. Stop loss tight, take profit wide. Least precision, unmatched drive.